By the end of this video, you will know how to do a flawless taper on curly hair at the back, on the neck. I was actually on $90 a haircut and I started specializing and posting a lot more tapers because it was more in trending. So this haircut allowed me to get me to $250 a cut. This is a super popular haircut, so let's get straight into it. A very important step of the process of cutting curly hair is making sure that you're combing all the hairs down because it's really coarse. First guideline, we're coming in closed. We're going to curve the guideline. The reason why we do this is because it creates a really nice neckline, so when you can make that real sharp. And as you can see, I'm like sculpting it. I'm taking little steps. I'm even going to just use my corners to make that corner even more elevated. We're coming in now with our one guard and open that. I'm going to do a really thick guideline, wrapping all the way around. Watch how thick this guideline is, okay? It's harsh right now, meaning that you can see the lines with no flick out. Doing this, it allows you to see the guideline better. But when you flick out, you're not gonna see the guideline. And then with my second pass through, just do a nice little flick out. The reason why I'm flicking out like this is because we want to create that shape on the side. Before, his head was real flat, right? Now we want to create some shape coming out like this. So this is a way to just soften up that line before we start erasing it. Coming with the clipper over comb. This is a great way to stay efficient and cut faster, as well as create shape by combing into where this line is at this point right here. When it matches that point, boom, I angle out and I take that, boom. This is the line right here. That comb starts here, boom, right there. It matches, comb out, scoop. The reason why this method is so good is because this comb right here is equivalent to a 1.5, and we just did a 1.5 guard. That's why it enables us to blend it in so well. As you can see already, his head has a bit of shape towards it, creating that nice curvature that we see on the side. What I also like to do is clipper over comb detailing. See how there's a bit more line? I can just come in, just attack a certain spot. See how the line's darker here? Come in with the comb, and that's the length that I want to take off. Boom. See how there's a bit of dark spots right here? Just take that. See how it's gone now? With the 1.5 guard, and we're gonna start out on with it open. This is equivalent to a 2. If we backtrack on what we did, this is a 1.5, and then this is clip over comb. If I close this, it'll be just a bit bigger than this. That would be perfect for us to take off this line. So I'm gonna start in open, erasing this line right here. During like this process of erasing lines, you really want to listen to the hair being cut. See, it starts cutting around here, so there's a dark spot there, right? There's a dark spot here, and watch how you can hear it, right? But then look at, there's no dark spots here. You can't hear anything. Once you're taking out lines and you can't hear anything, close it now. Taking it out, going under what I just did, and see how you can hear it now? That means that there's hair there to cut. Super important skill, and will actually elevate your game when you listen to the hair being cut. And it's important to have a clipper that you can hear being cut too. These are the instincts. They're great for debulking as well as fading. All around great clipper, feels good in the hand. As soon as I finish this, I'm going to move on to lining up the canvas. I'm going to come in with my hard trimmers, and when I line up the back, I always actually start at the sideburn first. So where the hair starts to grow, which is right there, and do a nice curvature right there. Right, I'm going to create one point, second point over here, pull his ear down, comb this side. That's where his hair starts to grow. Create my second point to create that nice curvature. Now we have 2 points, bang, bang. Connect those two together, and there's less room for errors now. That is a nice crispy ear line. We're going to continue that line now. Because my client has a lighter neckline, we really want to make sure we don't push it back. You want to manipulate the fading process, right? So then you can make this line look dark. In reality, not all clients have perfect canvases and perfect hair to cut, but it's your job as a barber to make sure it looks good regardless of their problem. That's what barbers are. We solve hair problems. With my clipper open, going a centimeter above that line and still creating that rainbow-like shape, what I'm gonna do is I'm even gonna make this a line bigger. The stretched out guideline at the middle is going to make the fade blurrier, and the thinness of the guideline at the endpoints makes the neckline darker and sharper. Now I'm going to come in with the half guard. I'm going to start open and one closed and taking off that line right there. I'm going to start off from my corners over here, softening that, and as you can see, just using that softening, you can see the difference from here. See how harsh? Now it's a bit lighter. Going to continue that all the way across. There's a faint line right here. What we're going to do now is going to come in closed now, making sure we use our corners because this is closed, meaning it's going to take more hair off. I'm going to take out this faint line and I'm flicking out as well, and pay attention to how much hair is cutting off. Just like that. Now the bottom is erased. Now you can see that this is a lot darker than over here. Creating that guideline in a curved shape will allow us to make that really nice sharp line whilst having a blurry fade. We're gonna take off this thing and come in close, taking off our faint line. And the reason why my guideline is fainter than other guidelines is because I started the guideline this way. A lot of people, what they do is they start their taper this way. When you start it like that, it's a lot harder to take off. And see how it's so easy and effortless for me to take it off? The thing is that once we get to these corners over here, we want to make sure we keep this dark. This is the line right here. We want to not pass that line. The more high I go up, the more long this line looks. I'm going to open it halfway now, bop, bop, and go up a little bit higher. We still want to fade it in that rainbow shape. The last step of this process is detailing. This will separate you from all the other barbers, separate a generic fade from your fade. I'm gonna start off with the one guard first, slap that on, come in open. I'm looking at the 1.5 plane, making sure that this panel is all equivalent in gradients. I can see that there's a couple of lines here, this line right here. So I'm gonna come in open to just soften that line and get rid of any other imperfections that I see. And I'm listening to the hair, seeing what is being cut off. Because if I cut down here, nothing. When I get up higher, it starts to crunch. Where do you guys see the dark spots right now? I see some right here, bit here. So that's what we're gonna do. Flick out at those dark areas right there. Just like that, we've gotten rid of the 1.5 imperfections. Gonna come in now with the half guard. Always start open when I detail. Now I'm gonna look at the 0.5 panel. You can see that there's imperfections right here, right? On this area right here. Use my corners, getting rid of that. One of the most important things of being a good detailer and having a beautiful, perfect, flawless fade is developing your eye. How well you can see dark spots and see imperfections. And the best way to start working on developing this eye is by being conscious of it. Shifting your perspective that, okay, I want to see the contrasts, I want to see the imperfections. Because when you put it to your conscious, then you start to see it more. If you don't think about it, then it's gonna pass your mind. So we've gotten rid of that line right there. Now we're going to come in on this side right here. See how there's dark spots here? Halfway closed and get rid of that. And not only will it make your haircuts better, the way you do one thing is the way you do everything. So if you're meticulous and you want all parts of your haircut perfect, it's going to translate in other areas. A person that has a messy car, a messy room, unorganized place will have a messy cut. Perfecting your eye will translate in other areas of your life. And just like that, we are done. When styling curly hair, you gotta make sure that you want hydration to make those curls defined. I use this one right here, Curl Enhancing Smoothie. When hair is hydrated, it'll be defined. When hair is dry, it'll be frizzy. Like when you spray water in and you come out the shower, it's like nice, yeah? But then when after like 2-3 hours, it's like frizzy as. The way to combat that is curling cream. What you do is you just grab like dime's worth and then you just rub it in your hands like this. Tapping just like this, scrunching it to create volume, and that will bend your curls so then it could be nice and defined. What you want to do with this, bro, put it on like every morning after the shower. You do that for a while and your hair will be nice and like not dry. That is important for clients to know, because for them to have a nice haircut, they're gonna know how to take care of it as well. So making sure that you educate your client how to do it, where to get it, and why they should do it, because their hair's dry. Just like that, I'm done with the cut. If you guys enjoyed this, drop me a subscribe, because I'm going to be getting valuable videos like this out consistently. I actually have a mentorship and a haircut academy where I have more in-depth tutorials just like this, where there's actually structure for you guys to learn effectively. It's not only important to upskill your haircut and the quality of your cuts, but also to market and record content. So I teach you how to market and showcase your work. So I'll put down a link below if you want to join and take your barbering career to the next level.